Mwah. Hi, everybody. That was fun.
Yeah.
I want to just invite everybody before I launch in, because I'm going to be doing a lot of talking. If everybody would be willing to unmute yourselves and just make some sound of, whatever's emerging for you right now. It could be anything, could be a word, but just go ahead and let's take 10 seconds to.
Yahoo!
Great. Oh, thank you so much. Yay. And thanks, Michelle, for being able to give me options to share the screen. There's a lot of familiar faces and definitely familiar names that I'm seeing as I scroll through everybody who's here this morning. I'm the enrollment consultant for the Hendricks Institute, and I just passed my 16th anniversary doing this. So I'm in my 17th year as enrollment consultant, and yeah, I'm super excited about that. I'm still doing this is the longest job I've ever had. and also that one of the things I appreciate about this is the longevity of seeing the arc of all these trainings that Katie and Gay have offered over the years, and how some new ones have come into being, and some of the mainstays are still here. They're still around, and I've gotten to watch Katie morph and change. And for example, those of you who haven't been around for, I've been training with Katie and Gay for 19 years, and fear melters just got introduced like 7 or 8 years ago. Fear melters didn't exist prior to like 2012 or 2013. And, it's transformational, it's life-changing work. And there are other things that Katie's changed, and things that have come to her through meditations, and just, as she's been moving around in the garden, and she'll say, oh, I had an idea while I was out in the garden, and it becomes an activity in a training session. So that's just one of the things I appreciate about being around for this many years, studying with Katie and Gay. But what I want to do with you today is I want to give you an overview of the opportunities that are here for the remainder of 2020. As you know, with coronavirus, everything's just been shifted and kind of turned on its ear. And something that Katie did was pivoted right away and started making changes to her online courses to bring them into a Zoom format. So some courses that she did have planned for this year we're not going to be doing, but those mainstays, those things that if you want to become a certified coach, they're still on the calendar. If you and your partner want to participate in a couples course, that's still on the calendar for this year. And so I'm going to share my screen and walk you through walk you through all of the trainings that we've got right now on the calendar. And I'll cover tuition, I'll cover the dates. It's just a 7-page document that I'm going to flip through, and you'll see here in a second. Also, I want to make sure that you have plenty of opportunity to ask questions. So I'm one of those facilitators that if you have a question, you are welcome to interrupt me. You do not have to save your questions till the end. So what I want to make sure that you do know is that all of the courses that Katie's going to offer are going to have some similar components, and that's down in the right-hand corner, that they're all going to be live online courses. We're going to be using Zoom. The Zoom link, if you do register for one of these trainings or workshops, the Zoom link will be sent out to you about a week before the start date. So that'll be coming from Margaret, our extraordinary administrative director. So you're not going to get that link right away when you register. I want to make sure you all know that right up front. But you will get it before the training starts. All of the courses are going to be recorded. So these are multiple week courses. They've gone from being 3- and 5-day courses to being 5, 6, and 8-week courses. So all of the course nights are going to be recorded. And that way, if you have to, pop in a little late or leave a little early, or let's say there's a week that you just can't make it, you can always go back and do the coursework, catch up right, in the week afterwards, so that you stay on track. Also, we're going to have private Facebook groups for every one of these sessions. And so if you sign up for both Evolutionary Playground and the Conscious Loving Advanced Training, those 2 courses are back to back. You might pay, and I'm going to talk about the tuition, you might pay the Conscious Loving special price, which covers both courses, but there's going to be a separate Facebook group for Evolutionary Playground and a separate Facebook group for the advanced training, because we aren't going to have the same configuration of people continue all the way through. Some people may just do one. or the other or both. So moving right along here. Oops, I don't know. Let's see. Here we go. Did my screen change? It should have changed. Okay, thank you. That's great. So I'm going to include this information at the end of the presentation, but there's a couple of different ways that you can register with me directly, which is always great. You can reach me by calling the 800 number. It's all over the website. It's all in the logistics document. So you can call that 800 number. You can also email me to set up an appointment so that we could talk on the phone. And then you can also enroll online at hendricks.com. Click on the seminars page. I want to interject here that if you're eligible for one of the discounted prices that I'll tell you about here in a little bit, you have to enroll directly with me. We do not have discounted pricing available through the website portal. So you do need to reach out to me, schedule some time to talk, and then I'll get that taken care of for you. So on to the next page. We've got several resources that help you set you up for success when going into these online courses. Several of the courses do have some reading that we suggest. Nothing really required unless it's an actual prerequisite course, like Essentials Online. But if you want to get more information about the Hendricks work, let's say that Love Scoops, this Monday morning Love Scoops, is one of your first introductions to Katie and Gay, or maybe you've only read one of their books. These are 6 books that have changed my life and that I recommend, and it's not just me, but also that Katie recommends to get you set up and teed up for successful training. The Big Leap really focuses on living in your genius and how you can get out of your own way for living in your genius. And Conscious Love, Lasting Love, Conscious Loving Ever After are all about relationships. So if you want to focus in on, how do I create a conscious loving relationship, or how do I make the one that I have even better? Those are the books that I would recommend for that. Conscious Living is just a really solid book. It takes some of the concepts from Conscious Loving, but takes the the relationship part out, and it's written by Gay and just really focuses on the best tools for living a conscious life. And then At the Speed of Life is a great a great book to read to prepare you for the Body Intelligence 5-day course. Look at that, 5-day. 16 years I've been saying 5-day. It's no longer a 5-day course. Trust me, guys, I've been doing this for a month. I've been trying to eliminate 5-day from my language. But At the Speed of Life is really good to get you teed up for the Body Intelligence course. That will happen sometime in 2021. We've got several different websites. I do want to highlight hendricks.com is the website where you'll go to register for seminars and trainings. Foundation for Conscious Living is chock full of really amazing complimentary or free resources around Love Scoops, and our Restoring Resourcefulness crew and Katie have created a tremendous amount of videos that you can watch and share with your family, your friends, your office mates, coworkers. And also the Foundation for Conscious Living is a nonprofit, and we always appreciate, your support for the foundation, either on a monthly basis or, one-time giving, whatever you'd like. But it helps with our scholarship program, and it helps with getting, when there's a disaster, let's say that happens, and a community wants to lean into our Restoring Resourcefulness crew, it helps cover some of those expenses. And then we've got a very robust YouTube channel, lots of videos and interviews, all for free. You can go and get a sense of Katie and Gay out there, and those go back years. If you want to watch Katie's hairstyle change over the time, it's really fun. You can go watch, all these videos from past years. And then, of course, we're on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, and what you want to look for, I'm going to highlight this right here. You want to look for Big Leap Home. So anyway, that's kind of teeing you up for other resources. Now, getting into our trainings, getting into the actual courses that we have. We've got the first one that's coming up is Rebooting Your Life, and this is resolving trauma and coming fully home to you. Katie and Audrey taught this course as a 5-day course last fall, and it's just exquisite. Several of us that are on the call today took this course. It's an exquisite course, and it's been transitioned from a 5-day course to a 6-week course. All of the courses, by the way, are going to be on Wednesdays and Thursday nights. They're going to be California times, either starting at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. This particular one starts at 4 o'clock, goes for 2 hours. We're outside of the early bird pricing, so we're at full tuition of $500 for the 6-week course. And it's, there's a discounted tuition. I'm going to talk about that here a little bit later. And it's $300 for that one. This particular course is all about going, it's a very somatic, very body-centric, experiential course where you'll be doing lots of activities on your own, as well as I imagine there'll be some breakout groups where you're going to have a partner or maybe be in a small group. But this is not going to be one of those courses where Katie and Audrey are just talking amongst themselves. They're going to be tossing all sorts of different activities for you and exploration for you to start to unwind, or maybe continue unwinding some early childhood and maybe even things related to your conception and your birth time patterns that were put kind of almost instilled, you know, if you will, put in place through those early childhood experiences. Our birth is one of the most traumatic things that most of us will have ever experienced. For many people, it is the most traumatic thing they've ever experienced on our body, and our body brain has the memory of those transition, or that transition, and imprints what transition actually looks like as a result. So Audrey and Katie will be offering all sorts of opportunities for both content and activity that's not using a lot of words to help us loosen the grip that some of those early imprints have on us that still have an echo, a really direct echo in our adult life, how we make transitions as an adult, how we interact with people when we've got a fear signature pop up. It's a really great course. I highly recommend that one. And after I talk about the couples course, I'll see if anybody has questions about these two before going to the next page. The couples course is Katie's annual couples course that she's been doing for at least, probably 2 decades at least. And it's, she's taking it to a 5-week course. You'll notice the time. It starts at 5 o'clock Pacific time. And it is strictly for couples. This is the only course that Katie and Gay teach that is only for couples. So I've supported the couples course many times. And what I appreciate is that the portability of this course, because when you're in a live in-person couples course, you and your partner are engaging in activities that Katie's facilitating, and you're going to be doing this together. So it's not that different. You're just, instead of being in a big group focused on your interaction with one another, you're going to just be at home or wherever you choose to locate yourself with your partner. There will likely be activities in the couples course where you'll partner with another couple in a breakout room. But what this course is about is it's not so much focused on how do we solve our problems. It's really focused on how do we, when we hit a speed bump, whether it's about, you know, the big ones, money, sex, children, or we hit some other speed bump, how do we move through that in a way that invites play and appreciation and genuine connection to ourselves and to our partner? So Katie gives tools, and a lot of them are nonverbal, gives tools for how to be with one another and stay connected while you're riding the waves of the inevitable things that arise in a loving relationship. So let's see. I don't have, oh yeah, there's the tuition. Great. I added the tuition bit, this stuff, I added very late last night, so I'm still not used to seeing it there. So this is $695 per couple. If you want to save $100, which I always recommend, you can register by September 23rd. So for those of you who have been training with us for a long time, this is a reframe. We used to have our early bird special cut off a month before, and we're now cutting it off 3 weeks before. So you've got up until 3 weeks prior to the training to save some money on that. And then again, this particular one, we do have a $350 rate as long as one partner is either a Big Leap coach or a graduate of our LAT program or Leadership and Transformation program. And at least one partner is a repeat attendee. So you both can be repeat attendees, or just one partner may have come through, you know, in a different relationship earlier on. So yeah, those are that. So that's the information about these two courses. Any questions popping up? I see 15 messages in the chat box. I just see the little 15. Michelle, are any of those questions?
So there was one question about, is there any discounts for people who've been laid off due to COVID? Any special circumstance discounts? So I'll throw that out to you now.
Thank you. No, we don't have that, but we have expanded our discount program to include anybody who's an active military or a veteran of the military, and it can be military in any country. It's not just United States centric, it's any country. Somebody who is a first responder in any country, and that could be firefighter, wildland firefighter, paramedic, EMT, what's another one? Police officer. So police officer, and again, or peace officer in any country. And then we have students. Students need to be actively engaged in a course of study. I talk to them first before I give the thumbs up and, go ahead and say, yes, we'll give you the discount, because I just want to make sure that, the active student status is there and it's an irrelevant program. And then we've expanded this to include the Big Leap coaches, people who are already certified and who are also repeat attendees, and then our LET folks. But we don't have anything for COVID consideration at this time. Any other questions, Michelle? Okay, got it. Thank you. All right, onward we go. So coaching certification is really, it's something that I get questions about quite frequently. Nearly every week, somebody is reaching out to me and asking, about our coaching certification program and how to get certified and how is this different. I'm going to start with how is it different. So what Katie and Gay offer in our coaching certification program is to get really steeped in their work and their activities. So our certification courses, there's 3 of them: Evolutionary Playground, Conscious Loving Advanced Training, and the Body Intelligence Advanced Training. These 3 courses, the point of including them in the coaching path is to give you the resources and tools of conscious living and loving work, so that you can then blend those into, or create even brand from scratch, a coaching practice using these tools and rippling out this work to other communities. What this isn't, it isn't a coaching program where you're going to learn how to set up your website or set up your business plan. It's not the mechanics of a coaching practice, but instead, Katie and Gay are giving you the experience, the experiential activities that you go through. You kitchen test it yourself in these courses, and you can then wrap those up into your own coaching practice and take that out into the world. A lot of times people will say, well, how are people using this? How do people do this? And what I can say is that my background is I'm a former human resources director. I blend Hendricks coaching in with human resources, the HR work I still love to do, along with some other work that I do. And so I infuse it into everything that I do, but I work with CEOs and executive directors of nonprofits, and I infuse it into my work with them and their leadership teams. Other people have used it in a graphic design business, a copywriting business, a clothing designer business, fitness education, and massage therapy education. I don't know if Heath and Nicole are still here, but Heath and Nicole are these amazing somatic practitioners on so many different levels. And I know that they infuse this into their work. So there's lots of different ways that this can fit into something that you're already up to, whether you are a leader in a company, an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, a founder of an organization, or if you are an employee within an organization that exists, you can infuse this into everything that you do. I often tell people that when I was an HR director, that's the first time I ever took a course, and it was the equivalent it really was the equivalent of Essentials Online. And I came home on a Sunday night, and on Monday morning, I started reconfiguring my employee orientation, and I changed a third of an 8-hour employee orientation to include what I'd learned in Essentials. So it's very portable into whatever practice you have, whatever you're up to in the world. The path is always going to start with Essentials Online. That's the prerequisite course. This course is the online version. It's a self-study video-based course, and it's what I used to call the smorgasbord of Katie's and Gay's work. So it's about a dozen or so very useful tools that Katie taught for decades, and she put it into an online format. It covers things like the drama triangle, fear melters, commitment. There's a whole boatload of things that she covers in this, and it is, again, the prerequisite for all of the courses. Well, let me say it this way. It's for Evolutionary Playground, and then Evolutionary Playground is a prerequisite for the other courses, the couples course, as well as Conscious Loving and Body Intelligence Advanced Trainings. Important to note, Essentials Online is included when you register for Evolutionary Playground. It's not included when you register for other courses without having met the prerequisite, but we do give it to you at a discounted price for $97 when you purchase it, say with the couples course, well, we don't have other courses added this year, but if Katie were to add some of her other courses, you could purchase this for $97 to get you kind of up to speed and get you ready enough to launch into that more advanced training. Again, we give it to you for free, but it's got a $97 value. So let's say that you register for Evolutionary Playground. We're going to gift it to you. It's part of the welcome letter. And if for some reason you have to cancel out of Evolutionary Playground, we have a generous refund policy. We give you 90% of your training dollars back, but we also give it to you less $97 because you now have Essentials Online for keeps. Evolutionary Playground. Well, actually, I'm going to pause real quick. Michelle, checking in with questions or comments?
Yeah, that was good timing. Julia was just asking about what Katie recommends for keeping up your certification, your Big Leap coaching certificate.
Yeah, great question. And the easy answer is any one of these 3 courses. So yeah, any one of these 3 courses. Every 3 years, our certified coaches, we want you to come through a live training, whether it's now live online or as it were, live in person, just to get a sense, get current, get a sense of what is Katie teaching. Because again, like I said earlier, she morphs and changes and adds activities. One time I came into a training at lunch on a Saturday. I'd missed the morning due to a snowstorm, and a client of mine was in the training, and I asked her, I said, so what was your favorite part of the morning? And she told me this one activity, and I said, I've never heard of that activity. And she said, oh yeah, Katie made it up on the spot. So, that's what you get for coming to our trainings, is you never know what Katie's going to have emerge through her and follow through with that impulse. So Evolutionary Playground is the course that what we're focused on in this is helping develop a new nervous system. Would you be willing to create a new nervous system within you that handles, as Katie was saying in the Love Scoops portion of the call, greater amounts of love and joy and connection? Would you be willing to do that? And in Evolutionary Playground, she builds on and carries over some of the things from Essentials Online, but she builds on them even more in a very experiential approach to developing your own presence. So how do I know when I'm present? How do I know where I'm located? And then connecting to myself so that I'm available to connect to others, and then be able to play and be available for the improv of the moment. So what I'm doing this morning, I'm improving, y'all. I mean, I know this stuff, but I'm improving. I'm not following a script as I'm talking to you. And I really trust that it's because I got very present during the Love Scoops portion that now I can just play with you all. Although this is a monologue mostly, but still to play with you all. So Evolutionary Playground, also very experiential. It's 5 weeks. It's 3 hours. There will be a break or so, but at least one break, I would say, in that 3-hour segment. You've got until August 12th. So just a couple more days. If you've never taken this course and you want to register, you've got to August 12th to register for $495. You can do that through the website. And then on August 13th, the price kicks up to $595. The $300 with the asterisk is that discounted price for all those people that I talked about earlier. And I've got another slide, and I'm gonna show you that in a written list on the next slide. Then we've got conscious loving advanced training, which takes some of the evolutionary playground and essentials online components that have to do with how do we relate to ourselves and how do we relate to others. So the connection piece, you know, and how do I relate? It takes more advanced activities. Katie and Gay dive more deeply into those advanced activities for relationships. Conscious loving advanced training often gets confused, and people assume it's a couples course. So I want to be sure you all know everybody's welcome to this. This isn't about just a couple. This is about all of the relationships, and primarily the relationship that you have with yourself. And so starting with, you know, how am I relating to myself, and then how do I relate to others? In the coaching context, some of these activities that are available, you know, I'm kind of actually curious now as I'm about to say this, is that when we would do this training in person, you might be practicing some coaching methodology or these activities in like threesomes where, you know, one person is coaching somebody else or two people. And I'm not quite sure how Katie's going to do that in the Zoom format, but probably, again, more breakout room focused, very experiential. I have no doubt in that this will be an experiential course. And then we've got, for this particular training, the deadline for this to save $200, if you just take this as a standalone, which means you would have completed this already. As a standalone, it's $12.95. Full price is $14.95 as a standalone, $7.50 discounted rate. You'll see right here at the bottom, this box that says Evolutionary Playground is, oh, sorry. Never mind, forget that. I thought I had something else there. There's something called the Conscious Loving Special that's on the next screen. Conscious Loving Special is, believe it or not, $1,095. So the early bird price is $12.95, full price is $14.95. But if you take these two courses together, it's only $1,095. Both Margaret and I ran that number and went, that can't be. This has got to be wrong. This can't be. And it is absolutely what Katie is offering, and it's the price. So it's such a deal if you want to take these two courses back to back. The one thing to mention about these two courses is that you'll notice Evolutionary Playground ends on a Wednesday night, September 30th. The very next day, on a Thursday night, October 1st, is when the Conscious Loving Advanced training kicks off. So you'd want to make sure that you plan for that week to you know, for your 2 nights in a row, you're going to be online with the courses. Really important to be there on the first night of each course, because that's where we set context. So do your very best not to miss class nights, but absolutely, I really recommend making sure you've got a clean slate for the first night of every course. Then the last one for part of our coaching path is Body Intelligence Advanced Training. And this is not yet scheduled. It's going to be in 2021 at some point, probably earlier in the year rather than later. And this particular course, Katie and Gay take a deeper dive into the more body intelligence pieces. So the body brain, the somatic aspect of us. This is the course where the book At the Speed of Life closely matches, or maps, and probably maps is the better word, maps back to body intelligence. The book Lasting Love is our gift to you when you register for this course. And Lasting Love, because it's about relationships, fits. At the Speed of Life fits with this one. And this is going to be more, if there's going to be some coaching methodology that Katie shares, and there will be, around like how to set up a contract. It's a verbal contract, how to set up a contract, how to get started with your coaching client. It's going to map back to coaching individuals. So, and it too, by the way, will likely have the same pricing structure as Conscious Loving Advanced Training. Don't hold me to that, because that may change in the new year. Oh, I hear somebody's pup. All right, I'm going to pause. Michelle, any questions before I move on?
Let's see. Well, there was one question, Nina was wondering, she took a course through the Shift Network that was a body intelligence course. So she was wondering how different that might be from the advanced course.
Well, it depends on how many hours that particular course was. And what I can tell you is that it's going to be different because it requires a different level of commitment. We actually have a commitment form for these 3 courses that you sign. So it's kind of an up-leveling, if you will, of your diving into this material and your commitment. The Shift Network course, well, actually anything Katie and Gay do circles around a lot of the same concepts. And it's just, they'll just share them in maybe slightly different ways or more thoroughly with courses like this. So this is something, this particular one is taught by Katie and Gay. They're going to trade off. They might trade off nights, or they might trade off hours within a night. Katie might open it up for an hour and a half, and Gay might close it out for the last hour and a half or so. These, I can guarantee you, are going to be a deeper dive than what you took through Shift Network, because they're part of our coaching methodology. Katie wouldn't have taught anything that had to do with our coaching methodology in that Shift Network course, but would have given you a really good taste for what to expect, though, because again, all of their work really touches on the same things. You know, life is about having a good time. How can I, you know, what are the ways in which I can get present? What are the ways in which I can connect to myself? And what are the ways that I can be available for play with others? And when I feel scared, what are ways that I can be with my fear and be expanded also in that place, you know, so play with the dynamic of contraction and expansion. So those are just some, and appreciation and integrity. Those are just some of the things that Katie and Gay will always teach and talk about, in regardless of what venue or what microphone they have. So thanks for asking that question. That was good. All right, Michelle, anything else?
Nope.
Okay, all right, on to the next page. I might have lied about what the next page was earlier, but at any rate,
there was one more question. Are those all prerequisites for if we decide to be a Big Leap coach at some point?
Yes,
those are all prerequisites.
Well, we've got let me run through the prerequisites. Okay. Yes, and I will say that everything that you see on this page is required for completion to get your coaching certification. So the prerequisite, that's why I've got it in a slightly different color. The prerequisite Essentials Online, you're going to be doing this on your own. This is self-study. It's 23 videos that span about 3.5 hours in total, a 60-page workbook. And to work through the workbook, chapter by chapter, and the videos assigned to each chapter, to get all the way through that, to do all those activities, a lot of participants have come back. Because I always ask, how long did it take you? Most participants are saying it takes 8 to 10 hours to complete, but you're doing this one on your own. And that's the foundational course that you complete before launching into Evolutionary Playground. Then Evolutionary Playground is the prerequisite course for both this course and this course. Evolutionary Playground is also the prerequisite course for the couples course. However, if you're unable to complete Evolutionary Playground, or you choose not to complete Evolutionary Playground for the couples course, and you can complete Essentials Online, but you have to buy it for $97, and you complete that, and that's going to get you, you know, enough information, enough of a foundation that you and your partner can go through the couples course. And it's highly recommended that both of you complete Essentials Online, or both of you complete Evolutionary Playground, or, you know, combination. One of you does one of you does the other, however you guys want to work it out. But you're going to optimize your time in the couples course for sure if you get one of these under your belt. As for the coaching certification path, you have to complete all 4 of these. Now, we're not going to check up on you. Neither Katie nor I are interested in policing anybody about, did you get this done? We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. So the integrity bit is on you, and are you willing to be as thoroughly engaged as you possibly can in all of these courses, so that you can get the resources that are made available to you in them, and then get your coaching certification. And the benefit of getting your coaching certification is that you can put yourself on our bigleapcoaches.com website and list yourself in your particular region there with your bio and a photograph, your website links. You can also participate in the monthly calls that Katie has with coaches, where she'll share something that maybe has arisen for her, or something that she's thinking about that she wants to, share with the group of certified coaches. But then she's also taking questions. If you want to share something that, you did with a client and you're kind of wondering, could I have done it differently? Or, wow, this really worked, and you want to share it with the community, the coaches community, that's welcome on that call. That's the whole point of that call. How I, as an enrollment consultant, use the coaches referral site and page, and why I so encourage you to get certified, please get certified, especially if you're in another country, is because I get emails and calls every week from people who are looking for coaches. They were looking for referrals. And what my intention is I always give them anywhere from 3 to 5 recommendations based on what it is that they're looking for. And there's a whole bunch of filters I apply to this. I ask them questions about, where are you located? Is it important for you to be in the same time zone? Do you have a preference on gender? Do you have a preference on how the person works? I don't track how much money people charge. We don't track that as a Hendricks Institute, but I definitely know most of our coaches in some way, shape, or form, some very, very closely, some not so closely, but I know of them, that I'm able to then, give those referrals out to those potential clients for you. So that's how we use the referrals board. And the more accurate your profile and the more current your profile is, the more current your training is, the better. It makes it really easy for me then to just go, oh yeah, this person, they're really current, they've been around, they've been coming to trainings, they participate a lot, they know what they know what they're doing, and they know the content. And it's really lovely when I can refer people who are very present and current in that. So that was a long-winded answer to your question, but I hope it helped. All right, anything else, Michelle, before I go to the next page? Okay, awesome. Onward we go, everybody. So back to this page. So tuition, you'll notice that I've got this big center block as the same color because the Conscious Loving Special is these 2 courses combined. So if you take those 2 courses combined, you're going to pay $1,095. There is no additional discount off of that because that is an amazing discount already. So it's like $1,000 off. So yeah, I see somebody taking a photograph. So please, if you want to take a snapshot of this page, by all means, go ahead and do so. This is all on our seminars page as well, but just by individual training. This is just a one-stop place for it all. Rebooting Your Life is coming up next, up in the upper left-hand corner. And then we've got Evolutionary Playground after that. We've got Conscious Loving Advanced Training after that. We've got the Couples Course after that, Conscious Loving Special. And then in the far right, you'll see the box, the blue box, discounted tuition offered for students. And again, what we're thinking of when when Katie came up with students is somebody who's engaged in a course of study that is similar or applicable, where whatever course it is that they're going to take with us is going to help infuse their education process. It's going to really help blend in with what they're already studying. So if somebody's studying mechanical engineering and they want to come to a body-centered course, I might run that one past Katie, or I might just say, no, not really what we're looking at here. But we're focused more on people who are in a full-time program. And what again, as I said earlier, I really invite anybody who wants a student discount. We're going to have a conversation first. I want to learn about your program. I want to make sure that that's the right discount to apply to your circumstance. Yes, Alice, did you have a question? Oh, you're just waving. Okay. I only see 3 people on my screen. You're one of them, and I saw you waving. All right, thanks. Then the first responders, which I've talked about, I would do a quick run through: wildland firefighters, EMTs, paramedics, police officers, and I don't know, I might have missed somebody, but it's in the logistics document. I spell it out in the logistics document. Active military, and then military veterans, repeat attendees. So you have to be repeating a course you've actually taken. So not that you're a repeat attending, meaning that you've attended one course and you're now coming back for a different course. You have to actually have taken that specific course, and then we're going to give you a discounted price for that. And then Big Leap coaches, you're also kind of classified as repeat attendees, but we're putting that in as a classification just so that you're included in that. And the Leadership and Transformation Program graduates are also available to get the same discounted price. So we also have, and I don't have this on here, we also have a partial scholarship program for some of the trainings. And so the partial scholarships are offered, if you are awarded a scholarship, you only get one per year per person. And in the past, they were only available for the 2 advanced trainings, the Conscious Loving and the Body Intelligence Advanced Training, and our LAT program, which was sunset like a little over a year ago, about a year and a half ago, it was officially sunset. But what we're offering, Katie's offering a partial scholarship program for other trainings as well. Here's the thing, though, is that in order to be eligible for a scholarship, you have to apply for it, and it's not based on financial need. So it's based instead on how do you plan to use what you're learning in that training to further expand this work into populations who normally wouldn't have access to it due to, let's say, geographic constraints, financial constraints of their own, or cultural constraints. So it's a 50% scholarship off of the full price of the training. If you want to know more about scholarship program, I get very involved in helping you kind of look through what your program idea is, your project idea is, and then I'll look through your application, because if you're going to apply, I want to make sure that you get that scholarship. If your particular project is eligible and fits the eligibility criteria, I'm going to do what I can to really help you hone on your language to make sure, and you have all the components of the application there, like by when are you going to report back, and by when are you going to implement your project, and I'll answer all your questions, and yeah, I'm involved. I'm helpful with you on that. So let's see what else to say. I don't know. Any questions on tuition? Anybody? One more reminder, if you are eligible for a discount, you do have to register directly with me. And the best way to get my attention is through email, in all honesty. So that way I can schedule a call with you. Michelle, any other thoughts or questions popping up?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, we're good.
All right. Then the last page is just my contact information again. You can register at the seminars page, or you can register with me directly. So thanks, everybody.
Extension.
Woof, I've been talking for 45 minutes.
You did a great job.
Yes,
That's very clear. You and Michelle together, awesome team.
Yes, we are. Thank you so much. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Anybody else have thoughts or questions? All right. Michelle, I'm going to turn it back over to you. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Nancy. Mwah. Thank you, everyone. Thanks,
Thank
Nancy.
you. Thanks, Michelle. Thank you, everybody. Mwah. Bye.
Bye-bye.